What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind Theater for the infamous Second Son Gamescom trailer. I'm Greg, alongside my hetero life mate, Damon Hatfield.
Hi.
Hey, Damon, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about this Infamous game.
Second
Son.
You've never played an Infamous.
There's been two.
We've been best
so far,
friends forever.
And then a downloadable expansion, right?
Yeah, there was
Rondo of Blood.
Festival
So
of Blood.
I haven't played any of them, but I've got my PlayStation 4 pre-ordered.
Yeah.
This is a launch game. I think it looks very cool. It is a launch game, right?
It is launch. No, it's launch window.
Launch
it's
window.
February. Ladies and gentlemen, there's some confusion on the internet. We had, I guess, an exclusive at E3.
The internet's confused about
I know,
something?
right? At E3, we had it confirmed on the live show that Infamous is a February game. We then talked about it again on Up at Noon, but people missed that episode somehow. I don't know why. But yes, Infamous Second Son, February. New character, Damon.
Okay. Now,
For the first time ever, we're in a real city, Seattle. We're this new character. This is Delsin Rowe here. This is his brother Travis. And then right there on the ground is his girl, a new character, Abigail Walker Fetch. She's got introduced at Gamescom. It's kind of the big thing of what's happening here.
her last name is Fetch.
No, they call her Fetch.
Okay.
Her real name, Abigail Walker. Then they call her Fetch.
Okay.
Somebody pointed out last night in the comments that it's like there's a great Mean Girls quote they redid called "Stop trying to get Fetch to catch on, sucker punch. It's not gonna happen." Because I guess in Mean Girls it happened. I'm too old for Mean Girls.
No, I remember that now.
So this is our first glance at Fetch here. She's this girl with the purple hair.
Is she gonna kill this guy?
She says she's never hurt an innocent person in her life, and then she goes all conduit on him.
Yeah.
Drops the pink on him.
Does that kill a person?
We don't know what this power is.
Okay.
See, the big thing about Delsin Rowe so far, who's you've seen here, in his
He's
little,
a smoke guy.
he is a smoke guy, but his real power is he's rogue from X-Men.
He absorbs power.
He can if he meets a conduit, he can take on their powers. She's a conduit just like him.
Well, so now at the end of this trailer, he seems to have electrical abilities. So is that her ability?
That's what. Well, I mean, like, yeah, we'll jump to it. Spoiler alert.
All right.
All right, so blah blah blah. So yeah, that's him. This is actually the first time we've ever seen him recharge. Similar to Cole, he has to recharge his abilities. Like, you know, if you expend something, he has to refill the gauge pretty much. Here he is stealing smoke from a police car. I would just walk around with a pack of cigarettes if I was him, but it looks like everything's on lockdown here. He beats that guy, beats these people up, blah blah. This is him throwing his brother off. We'll get back to that, but yeah, here he goes.
Yeah,
they meet for the first time. They touch rogue style. Looks like he starts sucking a little bit of her power, and then he also gets to go in her head, it would appear, similar to what we've seen with some other people. But this is the return of comic book cutscenes. These were a big part of Infamous 1, Damon. Then Infamous 2, they kind of went to, and these might just be for this cutscene, I'd imagine, right? Maybe only when we're going inside people's heads and seeing some of their memories when we take their powers do we get to go in. But it looks like that's her mom, maybe. Mom's like, hey, yo, Abigail, don't be mean. She's like, you know what, Ma? I got Jubilee's powers, and I'm not happy about it because this is a bad conduit power to have. But it looks like she's in training, right? It looks like she's training to use her abilities here of neon powers.
Neon powers.
To shoot things. But then we go a little bit here. The DUP, Damon, of course, is the Department of Unified Protection.
Obviously.
After the events of Infamous 1 and 2, they've cracked down on conduits. They're trying to do away with
This one takes
conduits.
place after 2?
Yes, correct. Okay. But you don't really need to play 2. That's kind of how they set it up as a new thing. But interestingly enough, it looks like she's being trained, Damon.
Yeah.
But it looks like somehow the DUP's involved in the training. And then we get our first look at this person here.
Is that the Second Son?
Who is this shadowy person? Well, Second Son, of course, is a play on many a word here, right? Delsin Rowe. Well, first off, I'm just pointing out that this character is going to be important.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is the shadowy figure that runs the DUP. Maybe it's the main villain of Infamous Second Son. We don't know yet. But everybody, when you see that cloaked person, probably a big deal. Now, Second Son, Damon, you're asking a lot of questions. I like this. I like that you're interested. That you get to hear about my dumb games. So here we go. Delsin Rowe on the right, red hat. He's played by Troy Baker. He is the second son. This is his older brother. This is his older brother, Reggie. Okay. Also, then Reggie Rowe, played by Travis Willingham. So older brother, second son. Now, also, though, in the original Infamous, there was a group called the First Sons who were running around trying to get the Ray Sphere together. Now, this is when none of this matters to you. Don't worry about it. This is the thing that gave Cole his powers, though, and blew up Empire City. They were trying to do all that, get that all set. So there was a group called the First Sons. We're not sure how the Second Sons are going to play into, or if there is a Second Sons, or how that all plays into it.
Okay.
But that's in a nutshell the play on the title. Got it?
Got it.
All right, good. All right. So here we are back to Neon Powers. Something interesting that no one's reported on yet that we're going to give an exclusive to right here. Do you know who plays this character, Damon?
I don't know.
I don't know for sure, but I'm like 97% positive it is Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey. She is a voice actress who was Lady Comstock in Bioshock Infinite. Okay. She was also Rize in Persona 4 Golden on the Vita there.
The Rizza?
Not the Rizza, sorry. But she's been in a million things. She's a really talented voice actress. Interestingly enough, she's married to Travis Willingham, who is Reggie in this game, who you've already seen.
Sounds like nepotism to me.
Travis is best friends with Troy Baker, who is Delsin in this game. Everybody knows. Well, I don't know. They're all good at it, though. However, the reason I'm making this bold prediction is that I'm hosting a panel at PAX. Mm-hmm. She's on it as an unnamed character, and so I'm assuming they've now named the character.
Yeah.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Scoop from us.
Ooh.
There it is. So she never hurt an innocent person. This looks like a normal bystander, and she just hurts the hell out of him with her powers. There's the new Sucker Punch logo. Like I said, we're in Seattle.
Space Needle.
Yeah. But it's a dystopian Seattle, right? Now, you hear people talking right here. It's Delsin Rowe talking to his brother, Reggie. He's trying to sneak in. You can see Damon down there on the right. People are getting patted down. They do all this. They don't want to let any of the conduits in. But of course, Delsin Rowe is a conduit. They know it pretty quick. He gets his powers in the beginning of the game.
He tried to just walk right in.
Yeah. He thought maybe he could trick it. He couldn't. But he said something funny then. And then he just gets to beat the hell out of everybody with his smoke powers. We actually see some of the abilities he has here, right? It's a little bit similar to Cole as far as, these, ground pounds and stuff like that. But it looks like the chain is taking the place of the melee weapon that Cole used. There it is. In Infamous 2, his tuning fork, as I kept calling it, and getting everybody really mad at me. Interesting dude down there. I wonder if we're going to be able to revive him, because that was a big part of Infamous 1 and 2, walking around being able to either suck people's souls to recharge or give a little bit of your juice to bring them back to life. Smoking, though, usually doesn't help bring people back. But here we're running up on this building, Damon. It's the crocodile. I don't know what it doesn't. We don't know what it means yet, though. There's crocodile there. You see it on the sign he's crawling on as he does. Also, this is the first time we've seen Delsin really parkour like Cole did, right? Like Cole's big thing was parkouring up walls. Delsin obviously still doing that. Another good shot there of Fetch herself. And then they come together here, Damon. They hit each other.
Are they fighting?
I think if you want the Greg Miller prediction on what's happening, he comes up there because he's seen her. She has a conduit like him. He wants to talk about her powers. He's like, hey, don't run away from me. I want to talk to you. And she's like, oh no! Like the floor kind of gives away. And then I think the fact that they're close to each other is going to kind of negate their powers, which is why they actually fall down here and get knocked out a bit. Reggie, of course, is a police officer. So he's torn. Conduits are bad people, but now his brother's a conduit after this bus went off the road, and that activated his conduit powers. Also, a real quick one, Damon, just for you, because I know you like the quick ones. I point this out every time. I thought I had a good shot of it somewhere here. Over his heart is a button that is a Sly Cooper face.
Oh, like this one over here?
I believe it's that white one right there, yeah.
Okay.
It's just like the Sly Cooper face that was on Cole's bag. Okay. So Sucker Punch, staying true to their roots, of course. They made those games. Not gonna hurt anybody. Here we start to see some of the conflict, right? Delsin's the one. He's out there. He's trying to take down the DUP. He's working with his brother a little bit. His brother's still trying to do, it's one of those stupid stories, right? Of
stupid stories.
It's like, well, if you became a conduit, right, and we were running around and I was in charge of stopping conduits, my opinion of conduits would change pretty quickly. Yeah. But no, here he's still trying to grab Fetch. We see them get into a little bit of a conflict. You notice the tattoos there on Delsin's arm. The big part of Infamous, the series, is making good or bad choices, right? If you want to be a good guy or bad guy, that usually influences the art and the look of your character. They haven't gone into that yet.
You think that's still a part of Second Son?
Yeah, Nate on Up at Noon, Nate Fox was like, that is what Infamous is. There's always going to be these moral choices.
But in Infamous 2, there were 2 endings, right?
Right.
And they just picked one.
No. Well, kind of, I guess.
To continue as canon for this one, right?
Right. But what they did is they looked at the gameplay data.
Okay.
And so they saw that overwhelmingly, spoilers for Infamous 2, you should have beat it by now, overwhelmingly people chose to play as good Cole, as a superhero. And so that ended with him dying. So now Cole is dead, they say. And Nate says he's dead. I still don't believe it. Watch Up at Noon.
If people overwhelmingly made one choice, maybe they need to add more gray to the choices that you
that'd be nice. And that was the thing they experimented around with Infamous 2. Infamous 1 was very much I'm going to keep this food. I'm going to give this food away.
I like the animation. His facial animation looks great.
Well, right. This is a big step for Sucker Punch as a developer. I keep talking about them maturing, right? They actually, Sony, their first party, Sony built them a mocap studio for this game. So this is the first time where they've actually had people in the Uncharted ball suits with the camera in their face and able to sit there and map out exactly what's happening. Which is why both, when you see Laura Bailey, that looks a lot like her, and then Delsin Rowe looks a lot like Troy Baker in the face. Which I didn't get. He texted me after the trailer for the first game came out, and he's like, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm Delsin Rowe. I'm like, oh, I didn't even catch that. Sorry, dude. So here, this is what you're talking about.
He has this electrical power now.
It looks like he sucks neon. It doesn't even look like electricity. It's like, oh man, there's some neon up there. I'll take it, and then I'll just have Jubilee or Dazzler's powers. I don't even know. I like that. I like his eyes right there, though. That's tight.
Yeah, I want to play this game.
Yeah, who doesn't? Ladies and gentlemen, PlayStation 4 Comes out this November now, officially. We all know the dates.
The 15th in the U.S.
Right.
29th, Europe.
Correct.
UK.
You were better. You were more confident than Mitch and I were.
You guys didn't know?
The UK one, I thought there was an 8 in there somewhere, and he's like, I don't trust myself. So, sorry about that Killzone rewind, but no, we nailed it for this one. Infamous is, as we've been told, a February game. It's coming out in February. For everything about it, and everything about that PlayStation 4, you keep it here on IGN.
Yeah.
Yeah, sucker.